I have no idea what I'm talking about next. You must create your own. The only neat things on this are that the person puts his name and the date on it and how many sandwiches they did in the last 4 hours. So that I know the next morning when this is pinned to the bulletin board, okay, and I look at the store and the store looks like hell, instead of calling that employee up and firing their ass, instead of firing them for doing a bad job, I have the feedback to look and say, oh, they did 75 sandwiches in the last 4 hours. No wonder the store looks like garbage. So I call them and praise them. Great job. Store looks like hell. But you did 75 sandwiches, I understand. Gives you information so that you can give information. Okay? The only other neat thing on here are two other neat things. The first item is check your keys. I don't mind getting a call at 10 o'clock that somebody doesn't have keys, but I sure don't appreciate them at 2 in the morning. So have them check their keys. And then we break it down 4 hours ahead, 3 hours ahead, 2 hours ahead. Okay, all the way through. Okay. That's the closing list. They sign it and they pin it to the board. Now your opening list, you have to go change your opening list and rip the plastic off and write in there. The first thing that they do is evaluate the close. The first thing the opener does is evaluate the work of the closer. So now the closer's going to get feedback. And if everything was done really well, the feedback might just be good. And they pin it back to the board. And that's praise. And if something wasn't done, you simply circle it and say, hey, that wasn't done. Maybe you write a note on the back, this is, you're not supposed to just check these things off. You're supposed to check them off when they're done. Okay? Because remember, if you don't tell them that they skipped the floor, you told them it's okay to skip washing the floor. This way they get feedback every single shift that they work at closing. Now, this stuff is very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. Here's why. If you give someone one positive comment and one negative comment, all they hear is the negative one. They off in the distance, oh my God, I've got that prom to go to Saturday night. They've got 2 weeks to find a replacement instead of a last-minute thing. We also post a calendar right underneath the schedule. And on that calendar, they ask for special requests on scheduling. They can ask me 6 months in advance. They may not get it, but they can ask for it. And usually, we'll grant the first person who requests something for a given day will probably get it. Okay? But once the schedule goes up, they'll only ask me to make those changes. Those changes are for you to make trades with anybody else who's got the handbook fully signed. Remember that? You can't trade with somebody until the handbook's fully signed. Once the thing is posted, they're theirs. Remember I said you get what you reward? If an employee calls me up and says, I'm sick, I can't work tonight, will you find somebody? And you say yes, you just rewarded the hell out of that. When somebody calls me up and says that, I say, well, you're calling to get the phone list, right? And I give them the phone numbers. Not my job to make that trade. I am ruthless on this one issue because I don't train them to make me they're out. Okay. Now, sure, somebody's been with me 2.5 years, calls me up and says, Doug, I've called everybody on the list. I can't find anybody. What do I do? I said, what's your shift? I'll put on my reds. I'll be down there. I owe this guy some good service. He's been with me 2.5 years. I'll cover his shift. But he's not asking me to make the arrangements for him. Now I'm doing it as a favor, as another counter. And I say 2.5 years because that's the average that my employees stay with me. When I hire somebody, I train them so well they like the job. They like the job, they do it well, and my average employee stays 2.5 years. Believe me, that's an absolute godsend in a labor-short market like mine. We have to pay between $5 and $6 an hour to get applicants. To get somebody to apply, we're in the $5 to $6 range.